Hello, everybody. My name's Teacher Ian. Welcome to Right Start Newcomer Services Learn Canadian English Lessons. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that Right Start Newcomer Services conducts business in Chibuktuk, which is how you say Halifax in the Mi'kmaq language. This city is part of the ancestral unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Okay, so welcome everybody. Like I said, my name's Ian. Thank you for joining us for our Learn Canadian English lesson. So these lessons are for new Canadians, people who are coming to Canada in the future, immigrants, students, workers, whoever you are. Hopefully you will benefit from these lessons. So as usual, if you're joining us live, say hello in the chat, introduce yourselves. If this is your first lesson, say hello, and everybody will welcome you to our classes. Okay, so today's lesson is about cooking. I love cooking myself. I'm a big fan of cooking. I cook most of my meals. This is not my kitchen. This is just a picture. But yeah, I love cooking, and hopefully you will learn something. So the idea is you'll practice your English a little bit, learn some new vocabulary, practice your listening, your writing, your spelling skills during tonight's lesson. Since it is so beautiful, I don't know what it's like there, but here in Halifax, it's beautiful. I want to get outside, so we're going to keep tonight's lesson a little bit short, hopefully 45 minutes, and we'll be done for tonight. All right, I see we have a few comments. Hello, Kakmis, welcome back. Haven't seen you for a little while. Welcome back to the lessons, and I hope you're doing well. How am I? That is a great question. You know, I took a nap just, half an hour ago, so I'm sort of just waking up, but things are good. I mean, the weather's getting better. The days are longer here in Halifax, so things are looking up, I think. I don't think it's going to snow again. I hope. So yeah, hopefully the weather stays nice. Get outside more and enjoy the beautiful weather in Halifax. How about you, Kaknis? How are you? Hey, Christina, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Let us know how it's going with you. Same with you, Kakmis. How are you doing? And Eliana's back. Hey, Eliana. Welcome back to our lesson. Okay, great. So, like I said, introduce yourself. If you're new, ask how we're doing, answer how we're doing, that type of thing. So tonight's lesson, as I said, we're talking about cooking, which I hope is interesting for you and not just a boring thing that you need to do to keep yourself alive. All right, so tonight's lesson, we're going to discuss a little bit about cooking. We're going to learn some vocabulary. So we're going to watch some really short videos, and we're going to describe what's happening in those videos. Then I have a recipe. So this is sort of Canadian food, but I think they eat it in other places as well. So we're going to learn how to make something. We're going to follow a recipe, and we're going to practice our English while we do it. Finally, we're going to have an opportunity to share some of our favorite recipes and to share also some of our cooking tips. So this will be a chance for you cooking experts to share some of your best ideas with each other. All righty. So let's answer these 5 questions. I want to hear, number 1, who does the cooking at home? So are you a good cook, or does your mother cook, your father, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend? Who does most of the cooking in your home? Second one, do you like cooking? Why or why not? Third, what are your favorite things to cook? So what are you known for? What's your specialty in the kitchen? Number 4, how did you learn to cook? Did you learn from a parent? Did you learn from school? I remember here in Canada, we had, I don't know if they still have it, but home ec. Have you heard that before? Home economics. And it was a class that, students would take. They learn how to make muffins and cook other things. We had that when I was growing up, and I learned quite a bit in those classes. And then finally, number 5, what do you wish you could make? So this is a little bit tricky English. So what have you not tried to make, or what can't you make? Maybe it's too hard, it's too complicated, but you really wish that you could make it. All right, so love to hear your answers to these questions. If you want to answer all of them, great. If you want to answer just a couple, that's fine too. I'll go through and answer for myself while you're writing the answers in the chat. So number 1, who does the cooking at home? I would say me, mostly. Although my wife cooks some, I cook more. So I would do most of the cooking at home. Do I like cooking? Yeah, I love it. So I'll put on my headphones and I'll watch a video while I cook, usually Netflix or something like that. It's relaxing. It's kind of fun. And yeah, I like the food that I cook, so I get to eat delicious food and I don't have to go to a restaurant. My favorite things to cook, that's a good question. Spaghetti, I make pretty good spaghetti. Tacos, I like making tacos. What else do I make? Breakfast food, I'm pretty good at breakfast food, so pancakes and all that stuff. How did I learn to cook? So I guess I have 3 main influences. So my mom's a really good cook. I learned a lot from her, from school, from home ec, and then finally from videos and just following recipes that I find online. And number 5, what do I wish I could make? I wish I could make eggs Benedict. I've never really tried to make eggs Benedict. It's delicious. I wish I could make it, but I don't really put in the effort to make it. All right, so that's for me. Let's hear from you. I see some people are already answering, so that's great. I'm trying to cook at home. So I am trying to cook at home. That's great, Christina. And what are you trying to cook? Or do you mean you always cook at home? So do you mean you're trying to cook or you do cook? Anyway, there's a different meaning depending on what you're trying to say. All right, Kekmis, in my home cooking my wife. Don't cook your wife. Don't cook your wife. I think that's illegal. So in my home, my wife cooks. I think that's what you mean. You're not really cooking your wife, because if you are, then I'm calling 911 right now. Okay, so in my home, my wife cooks. Good. Okay, you said it again. So I know what you mean, right? But you're a little mixed up. Your sentence is a little mixed up. So in my home, my wife cooks, but she doesn't like to cook. All right. In my home, my wife cooks, but she doesn't like to cook. That sounds much better than you cooking your wife, which is a big no-no. All right, Kakmis, thank you. Christina, now I am trying to cook at home, but actually for time I buy cook at the restaurant. All right, so I know what you're trying to say, Christina, which is great. I am trying to cook, so we'll put in TO, to cook at home, but actually for time. Let's say to save time. To save time, I buy food at the restaurant, or I get takeout from the restaurant. So I know what you mean. We'll just change a couple little things, Christina, and it will be perfect. All right, awesome. I do the cooking. All right, Eliana, good for you. So I'm not a fan, but I try it. All right, so not everybody loves cooking. I mean, it's hard work, takes a lot of time, and if you have other stuff you would rather be doing. Um, use your imagination. Good for you. So that's a good expression. To use your imagination is to think of something and then try it. So good for you. That's great. Number 4, my mom teached me. Is that how we would say it? My mom teached me, and I follow recipes and watch videos to learn more recipes. So what we want to say is past tense of teach, which is taught. T-A-U-G-H-T. So I'll write it in here. T-A-U. All right, so we want to say taught. Taught is the past tense of teach. Great. And then you were saying, Eliana, my mom taught me and I follow recipes. Recipes. Is that right? I guess it is. Yeah, recipes, and watch videos to learn more recipes. I wish I could make lasagna. Awesome. I love lasagna. Lasagna is delicious. I've never made lasagna either. But I definitely would love to learn how to make lasagna. All right, great English, great ideas, Eliana. That's perfect. Cacmus, you fixed your sentence. Much better this way. In my home, my wife cooks, but she doesn't like to cook. All right, perfect. And Christina corrected herself. Food. I love to cook. Again, that to. So when we have two verbs, in this case, love and cook, there's two things we can do. We can say, I love to cook, or you can say, I love cooking. All right, Christina? So you have to say, I love to cook, or I love cooking, but I don't like to wash the dishes. Perfect. Okay, that's a great sentence now. Awesome. So good answers, good practice. You got your fingers working. They're all warmed up. Anyway, if you have any other answers, put them in, and we're going to move on to the next part of our lesson. All right. So for this, we've got two things we're going to do. One, we're going to watch some videos, and you're going to describe what's happening in the videos. And then we're going to go over a few common measurements in English that we use for cooking all the time. All right, so you're going to watch the video and then describe the action. I'm just going to see if I can get this to work. 1 second. I hope this will work. All right. I didn't want that to be there. Okay, so let me just see if we can increase the size of this a little bit. Okay, so watch the video. It's just a short little 10-second video, and you're going to describe what cooking vocabulary is happening in this video. All right, it's going to be easy. It's going to be short, and we're only going to write a few words or a sentence. Okay, that's it. So describe what you saw in the video. What is the person doing, or what cooking method are they using? Okay, we can watch it again if you want. So what did we see in that video? As you write that, I'm just going to prepare the next ones a little bit. All right, if you're just joining us, we're going to watch this video one last time, and you're going to describe what you see in that video. All right, so Christina has an answer. That's great. You can keep it short, right? You can keep it just a few words. Probably he's a chef who's cooking egg frite. Frite, I think maybe that's French. Frite. It's like fried. So I think you want to say the word fry. Fry an egg. He is frying an egg. Or if you want, just write the word fry. So fry an egg, or he is frying an egg. So that's the word I wanted, fry. You were close. You just wrote frite, which I think is French. So now we understand, right? We're just watching the video, writing a few words or a short sentence. All right, so first word was fry. Fry an egg, break an egg, something like that. All right, here we go. Next one. Okay, so what did that girl do? So I'm looking for the action, or if you want to write a short sentence. Let's get the next one. All right, so do you want to watch this again? What is the girl doing in this video? Okay, Christina, back with another answer. That's great. The girl is putting water in the frying pan. So I think you mean put, right? So put is fine. P-U-T. She is putting water is okay. Maybe it's not water. Maybe it's batter. We would call it like batter. It looks maybe like eggs or something. So pudding, yeah, pudding is good. Let's use another word. We could also say pouring. Pouring. So when something is liquid and we want to put it somewhere else, like milk or cream or something liquidy, we would use the word pour. So she is pouring something into the frying pan. Okay, so that's the word I was looking for, pour or pouring. Awesome. We also use that when it's raining really hard. It's pouring rain. So when liquid is coming down, we use the word pour. All right, great job, Christina. Let's see if anybody else can answer this one. You answer too, Christina. All right, how about this one? Looks yummy. I love pizza. Okay, so Cacmus pudding scrambled eggs. So you could say pouring or cooking, frying scrambled eggs. You could say putting scrambled eggs in the pan, putting them in the pan. That would work as well. All right, so let's watch this one more time. So putting a little bit on something. So it looks like cheese or something. What would we call that? That's a tricky one. So we could say, what could we say about that? Yeah, so putting some species. I think you mean like cheese or toppings. You could say toppings over the pizza, and that would be great. Species is for like different kinds of animals. So pudding works. Kekmis wrote putting cheese on pizza. That's great. And another word I want to teach you that you can write is sprinkle. So sprinkle means you don't put a whole lot on, you just put a little bit around. So sprinkle cheese on the pizza. Sprinkle. So that's a good word. Write it down along with pour and fry, and you'll be cooking in English in no time. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, this one is vertical, so it's a little hard to see. Okay, everybody watching, let's play. All right, that's enough. You get the idea. So what is that person doing? Looks like pancakes. What are they doing to the pancakes? I don't think they're a very good cook. You're not supposed to use a fork like that. All right, one more time. Yeah, you shouldn't use forks. So to have on one side and then turn. All right, for this one, I don't see anybody answering. We could say a couple things. We could say flip, F-L-I-P. So he is flipping the pancakes. Or you could say turn over the pancakes. Either is okay. Depending on the recipe, they would say flip or turn over the pancakes. Okay, I didn't see your answer there, Christina, but that's great. Using a fork to cook the pancakes. Great. So that's a good answer. Flip is good. Turn over is good. But what you said is also correct. So great job, Christina. Awesome. You guys are so smart. And Cacmus, you said also flip the pancake. Perfect. So he is flipping the pancakes. Don't use a fork. That's a bad cooking method. All right, let's check out the next one. All right, what is this lady doing? She's having fun. All right, one more time. I don't think she knows what she's doing either. All right, so what is she doing with her thing? And I'm just going to get the next one ready too. All right, and if we need to watch one more time, here we go. That's a tough one. Okay, so for this one, there we go. That's great. So that's the word I was looking for, Christina. Stirring. So using a spoon. In this case, she's using a whisk. So stir, mix, or beat. We also use that word beat. So we could use any of these really. They're all a little bit different, right? So stir is usually a spoon. Mix is put all the things together. And beat is to go very quickly when you do it. Cacmus isn't sure. You're welcome. So one of these words, stir is great, mix is fine, beat is also fine. All right, so good words. Write them down if you don't know, right? You should have your vocabulary notebook, add them. And then when you're looking at recipes or something in English, you can identify these words. Or if you're sharing a recipe with somebody, you can use these words as you explain how to make something. All right, let's do this one. All right, here we go. Looks like salmon. All right, easy. So what is that person doing to the salmon? And if you're just joining us, we are talking about cooking today. So we are describing what we see in these videos. We already learned fry, pour, mix, stir. We learned lots of words already. What is this one? And these videos are making me hungry. Not salmon so much, but pancakes. I like pancakes. Okay, so for this one, we would say the person, you could say they're cutting. Oh, Christina answered. That's great. So the girl is cutting the meal of the fish. To make it a little bit easier, Christina, you could just say the girl is cutting fish or cutting the fish. Great. So you don't have to say meal, but to make it a little bit easier, the girl is cutting fish. Right. Cut salmon in portions. That's a good word. Cacmus, I like that word portions. It's just for one person, would be a portion. Great. So I was looking for cut. We could also say slice. Have you heard that word before? Slice means to cut into pieces. So either of these would work. Cut the fish, slice the fish. Sometimes they would use either one. Awesome. I think there's a couple more. So 2 or 3 more. Let's skip that one. All right, this is a hard one. All righty, what is this person doing to that apple? Maybe she's making pie or something with that apple. Apple crisp. That's really good. So what is she doing to that apple? She's not exactly cutting it, right? She's not cutting or slicing it. She's taking off the outside part. And what would we say she's doing? Okay. Cacmus, that is great. So you got it. Skin. I'm not sure exactly. Skin. Oh, you mean skinning. You're very close. Skinning would work maybe for an animal, like to take the skin off chicken or something. That would work. But with fruit, like an apple, we would say peel. So she is peeling the apple. So, Cacmus, you got it perfectly. Christina, that works, but for animals that have skin, skinning. And you could write SKIN. So, skinning or removing the skin from chicken. Something like that would work. All right, you guys are super, super smart. I think there's one more, and then we'll move on. So, last one, and then we'll look at our recipe. So what is that person doing to, what's that, cheese? Looks like cheese. One more time. So you can do that to cheese, maybe an onion, when you want sort of like in smaller pieces. What is she doing to that cheese? And can I have some? Doesn't this make you want to cook or eat something? Scratch. Okay, that's a good guess, right? And that's a good strategy. If we don't know, we guess. Scratch is like, my arm is itchy, I'm going to scratch it. We don't really use it for cooking. Although there is an expression to say from scratch, means I cook it all myself from the beginning. I made every part of it. So in this case, scratch is not correct. You also said scratch. Okay, interesting. So maybe you're translating from another language to English and what you got was scratch. You're close. So we would say, now I lost it. Great. Or so some recipes call for us to grate, grate, grate the cheese, or shred the cheese. And either of them, it's pretty much the same thing. So grate it, shred it, it's the same. All right, so we learned some great vocabulary. Very quickly, let's review before we move on. So first one we watched was fry, like fry an egg. Usually you fry something in a pan on the stove. Fry an egg, fry pancakes, fry vegetables. So that was our first word, fry. Second one was this this video, and the girl was, remember this one? Pour, right? Pour, P-O-U-R. She is pouring the batter into the pan. So second word was pour. Great. Third one, when we put a little bit on something like cheese or flour, the word was sprinkle, right? Sprinkle the cheese on the pizza. Awesome. Next one was to flip a pancake or flip the omelet, flip the egg. So flip or turn over would work. Don't use a fork. Next one. This happy young lady is stirring or mixing or beating. If she goes really fast, she would say beating. the egg or whatever. Awesome. And this one was using a knife to cut the fish or slice the fish. All right. Awesome. And next one, with something like an orange or apple that has an outside peel, to take that off means to peel the apple or peel the orange. Okay, great. And last one was, we just learned it, grate or shred. So grate the cheese or shred the cheese. Awesome. So you guys did great. You learned some new vocabulary. Let's move on to, this is just a really quick activity. So what we're going to do is match. So there's a list on the left, and these are words that you'll find in a recipe, and I want you to match them to the words on the right side. So, for example, number one, a cup. So this is a measurement that we see in lots of recipes. 1 cup equals D, 250 milliliters. So all you have to do is write, for example, 1 and D, and that would be the correct answer. So 1 cup is 250 milliliters, sometimes less. Okay, so what about number 2? When you see TSP in a recipe, what does it mean? So what does TSP stand for? This is really important. If you're going to follow an English recipe, these things will show up in almost every recipe that you make. How are we doing for time? Not too much time left. We're going to go pretty quickly. Okay, so for number 2, TSP stands for A, teaspoon. So TSP means teaspoon. So correct answer, number 2, is A. Number 3, what does that mean? TBSP means, okay, Cacmus is on it. 2A is correct. 3 is G. Exactly. So TBSP means tablespoon. You got it. What about number 4, LB? What does that stand for? Sorry, I'm just gonna. Okay, here we go. Oh, Cacmus, you got all of them. That's great. So 4 is B. So LB stands for pound, which is like 454 grams. Good for you. 5 is E. So G stands for grams. Number 6, a pinch. Pinch is a little bit. So when they say a pinch of salt, it's just a little bit, not even a teaspoon, much less than a teaspoon. And the last one, 7, is C. So milliliter, you got it. Cacmus, you got all the answers. Great job. Bravo, bravo. This is pretty easy, but it is really important that you know it if you're going to follow a recipe in English. All righty, great job. Let's see. All right, the last thing I think we'll have time for today is a recipe. So this is a recipe for shepherd's pie. And I chose this recipe for a couple of reasons. So one, I love shepherd's pie. It's very delicious. 2, my last name is Shepherd, so it's a family recipe. And third, it was on the Government of Canada website, so they don't mind if I share it with you. So what we're going to do, I'm going to read a recipe. You're going to write down the missing words. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is our ingredients. All right, so you have to listen to me for a bit. I'm going to read out. Where is this recipe? I lost my recipe. Hold on 1 second. All right, here we go. So I'm going to read out this recipe. These are the ingredients. So you're going to write down how much of these ingredients there should be in this recipe. All right, so you're going to have to write fast. We're going to go pretty quickly. Number 1, 5 large potatoes. Number 2, 1 yellow onion. Diced. Diced means cut up into little pieces. Number 3, 1 pound of lean ground turkey. Number 4, 1 cup canned lentils, rinsed and drained. Number 5, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. If you don't know what it is, it comes in a little bottle. You can get it at least in Canada. So that was 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Worcester. It's hard to say. Anyway, 2 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce. Next one, number 6, 2 tablespoons of canned tomato paste. 2 tablespoons canned tomato paste. 2 cups frozen peas and carrots, thawed. 2 tablespoons of soft margarine. And 1 tablespoon of 1% milk. All right, so I'll read it again. I know there's a lot. I'm going to do it super quick, and you can write your answers in the chat. Here we go, one more time. 5 large potatoes. 1 yellow onion. 1 pound lean ground turkey. 1 cup canned lentils, rinsed and drained. 2 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce. If anybody knows how to say that, please correct me. 2 tablespoons canned tomato paste. 2 cups frozen peas and carrots. 2 tablespoons soft margarine. Margarine is like butter. And last one, 1 tablespoon of 1% milk. If you're vegetarian, you can still make this. Just change the turkey and put in more lentils, and it should be fine. All right, so let's see, did anybody get how much? So first one, 5 potatoes. Here, I'll write the answers in here. Number 1. 5 large potatoes. Number 2 is 1, where's my answer here? 1 yellow onion. Diced. Diced means to cut into small little pieces. Very, very small pieces. So, dice. Awesome. Number 3 is 1 pound. So 1 pound of lean ground turkey. Awesome. Number 4 is canned lentils. 1 cup, I think I said. So 1 cup of canned lentils. Lentils are kind of like beans. Next one is 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And number 6 is also 2 tablespoons. So number 6 is the same, 2 tablespoons of canned tomato paste. Number 7 is 2 cups. 2 cups frozen peas and carrots. And next one is, I think, 2 tablespoons. Where were we? 2 tablespoons of margarine. And last one, I think, is 1 tablespoon of milk. Easy, right? So this was practicing, can you listen and understand if somebody was to explain the ingredients? So if you're not sure, you didn't catch it, you can watch the video again and then write down what you heard. All right. Last but not least, I'm going to say how to make it. So it's missing a few words. I'm going to read the paragraph and you write in the missing words for each step. And I think there are 5 steps altogether. Anybody still there? Anybody listening? All right, so do your best. If you don't know the perfect spelling, that's okay. This is really just a vocabulary activity. It is a spelling and listening activity too, but do your best, right? So step 1, wash and cube potatoes. Place potatoes in a large pot of water and bring to a boil. Cook until the potatoes are soft, about 10 minutes, and then drain. Okay, so maybe you got some of the words. Which ones did you catch? And I'll say it again as you're typing. All right, here we go. Wash and cube potatoes. Place potatoes in a large pot of water and bring to a boil. Cook until the potatoes are soft, about 10 minutes, then drain. So you're trying to get 6 words. Which ones could you get? Wash and cube potatoes, place potatoes in a large pot of water and bring to a boil. Cook until the potatoes are soft, about 10 minutes, then drain. All right, anybody there? Did anybody get any of those words? I see some people are watching. Maybe you muted me because I'm talking too much. So let's try and get at least 1 or 2 or 3 of those words. If you can't get them all, that's okay. Life goes on. All right, so Christina, you got number 3, put. put potatoes in a large pot. You're very close. I think I said place. So Place, place, and put. The meaning is the same, but I used the word place. But great job. Any other words? Did you get any more? So, number one is wash. Okay. No problem, Cacmus. Thank you for joining us. See you on Thursday for our next lesson. What are we learning about Thursday? Nouns and pronouns or something like that. Okay. So here are the answers. We don't have too much time left. So the words I wanted to share were wash the potatoes, and cube them. Cube them means to cut them into cubes, little squares. Place the potatoes, bring the water to a boil, cook the potatoes, and then drain. Drain means to take out of the water. So those were the 6 words. Let's try one more. So we're warmed up. Let's do one more, and then I think we're finished for today. All right, this is a hard one. It's a little bit long. So step 2, lightly coat a non-stick pan with cooking spray or oil and heat over medium-high heat. Add onions and cook for about 5 minutes until browned. Add ground turkey and cook until brown. And then add lentils, Worcester sauce, and tomato paste to the ground turkey. All right, so again, you're looking for 6 words. I'll say it again and try to get at least a couple of them. So, lightly coat a non-stick pan with cooking spray or oil and heat over medium-high heat. Add onions and cook for about 5 minutes until browned. Add ground turkey and cook until brown. Add lentils, Worcester sauce, and tomato paste to the ground turkey. All right. So, did you get any of those cooking words? All right. So, again, you can write 1 or 2 of them. That would be great. And I think we're out of time. We're not going to finish the recipe, but I will add it to my website. And if you want to go find this recipe, check my website, or you can go to the Government of Canada website and look for shepherd's pie. And you will make this delicious Canadian food. Although they eat it, I think, in England and some other places too. Okay, so here are the answers. The first one was coat. So coat means to spread. Coat a non-stick pan with cooking spray or oil and heat, H-E-A-T, heat over medium-high heat. Add onions and cook for about 5 minutes until browned. Add ground turkey and cook until brown. So add and cook, we use those ones twice, but that's okay. Anyway, there are a few more steps. There are steps 3, 4, and 5, but we don't have too much time. If you're interested, here is the recipe. So feel free to go to this website. I will add it for you in the chat. So I just put it in the chat. There it is. Check it out. Practice your reading. And if you're really brave, you will try to make this. So it's a really good way to practice your English, is to read a recipe in English, try to follow it, try to understand it, and then actually cook it. And you will know if your English is good because it will taste good, right? So your homework is you can choose one of two homeworks. One is to try to make something using an English recipe. Or two, I want you to share your favorite recipe with us. So if you have a favorite recipe in English, I want you to share it into the chat. So maybe you have a picture of it, or you have a website where you got this recipe. Share it with us so we can make your favorite food as well. Okay, our time is up. So I want to thank everybody for today's lesson. I think we learned quite a bit of cooking words. You got a lot of listening practice. You got some writing and spelling practice. And I encourage you to do your homework. So find an English recipe, cook it, and then take a picture of it. Share it with us. Tell us how it went. We would love to hear about it. If you want the recipe from my website, check back www.rightstartcanada.ca in a couple days, and today's lesson will be up there. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you on Thursday. Take care.